involved the payment of reparations to minorities, and we'll just spell it out more clearly here. African Americans, the descendants of slavery, supposedly we could say. But anyways, during the course of this conference, figures were thrown about, ranging from $200,000 to a little over $300,000 payments to each person. Now, as to how they would figure out if who was entitled to this reparation, I suppose it would depend on the color of your skin.
That's how it'll work.
I can't think of any other way to determine this, But some pretty interesting comments were made. I say interesting because I don't know how else to define it. But before I get to these comments, though, let's just get on the record that by the time of the Civil War, California was not a slave state. It was determined to be a free state. So here we go again with California, man. I just, gosh, that state's just.
Well, it's their belief. It's Gavin Newsom's belief. Everything that happens in California should happen nationwide.
Yeah.
God help us too.
So anyways, what they did was they opened the floor for comments. So basically, people, the public could come in, sit, listen to the conference. And then there was a time, like an open mic type thing. So one person got up and said, capital, money, reparations, that will stimulate this economy for the 2.6 million blacks in California. Now listen to this, because this is what he continued with. There's only one thing that would stop our children from busting into these liquor stores and grocery stores, stealing junk food and stealing different things, and that's reparations.
You know what? I wish that were true. I really honestly wish it were true. And you know what? If I never had to hear about slavery again, if that was the little codicil that came, or quantifier that came with it, I might be in favor of Californians paying that.
You've just walked into my next statement here.
Always.
All right, here we go. Thank you. Another person got up to the floor, or got up to the mic and said, listen to this. You can never repay the damage that has been done to black people in America later. So I want to be very clear. Land, 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 healthy land, not toxic land. But I want to go back to the very beginning of his statement. You can never repay the damage. Well, if the damage,
why even try?
Exactly. Yeah. Since it cannot be repaid, then why are we even trying?
How about when you run into the store and you shoplift your junk food, I shoot you in the head?
Well, as I was
that's
listening,
my reparations.
As I was listening to,
I'm the descendant of Irish immigrants, and they were treated like crap in this country, and they were heavily discriminated against. So where are my reparations? Where are the reparations for so-called Native Americans? Where are their reparations? See, this will never end. Yeah. Everybody's got a grievance.
I lost my train of thought here.
I'm sorry.
But because I heard something on Gallagher, and this is what I was going to say. I was listening to Gallagher the other morning, and he was talking about this, and he says, and he was referencing the one person who said you can never repay the damage. Correction. He was referencing the person that said reparations would stop the people from stealing from stores. Okay. And he goes, there it is. The quiet part is said out loud. If you want, basically they're demanding a payoff. All sorts of stores in the inner city that are incrementally shutting down. And they don't want to say that the stores are shutting down because of the shoplifting. They don't want to say the stores are shutting down because of the crime. So now they've taken the mantra of the store is no longer profitable.
Well, that's because the merchandise is walking out the door in the form of, because these idiots have been convinced that it's okay. I've noticed this in a great many black people I've known in my life, is that the two wrongs make a right in their thinking, and the ends justify the means. That's a culture problem, and until they solve that problem, because I can't solve any problems for them, they have to solve their own problems like adults.
Yeah, but these stores, they're so spineless. They can't even give the factual reason why they're shutting down, other than, well, we're no longer profitable, so we can't, it's no longer adequate to keep this store open.
Well, I read just earlier today that Walmart will close all of its stores in Portland, Oregon, for these same reasons.
Yeah. One of the thoughts I had on this whole reparations thing is this is only going to fuel the national divorce.
Yes.
I mean, when we talked about that just the other week, about a national divorce really isn't exactly going to work. But you know what? Reparations is like poking you into the corner.
You know what happens when the money's gone in a year and a half, which I predict will happen. It'll all be gone. Then what? They need some more reparations?
Well, the one guy says you can never repay the damage. That's what the one guy says.
Then why give them anything then?
Here we are. Oh, and Illinois too. I meant to say earlier, and I just now remembered, Illinois is now looking into reparations. Yeah. Of course, that's the state where Chicago resides.
Sure.
No surprise there. Thank goodness Lori Lightfoot was primaried out, or kind of lost the primary election to that mayoral's race.
She lost it badly because she was not qualified for the job. She got the job because she was black, and because she was a lesbian, and because she was a woman. And this is what you get at the end of the day when you prop up people to be something they're not. They fail, and then they accuse those same people of being a racist.
Well, my final thought on this is, here's a saying that I'm sure most of us have heard. Mac, I know you've heard this before, I'm certain, but be careful what you wish for. You just might get it. Yeah. And they want their reparations. And
well, who wouldn't want to check? I mean, if the state of Michigan came along tomorrow and said, "Hey, Mac, here's your check for $300,000," would I take it? Yes, I would.
Well, we got hefty medical payouts the other year. Yeah. You could almost call those medical reparations.
Yeah, medical reparations.
I mean, that's what they did.
Those were called vote buying checks.
Yeah.
And you know what? They didn't send me enough to buy my vote, apparently, because they didn't get it.
That's what's happening out on the left coast. And that really sucks, because I spent 2.5 years of my life on the left coast, and I really enjoyed it out there, but you couldn't pay me enough to go back there now.
At the end of the day, I don't give a damn what they do in California or in Illinois. I just don't want to hear about it here where I live. Because if I'm going to be fined for something, then I want a trial. I want someone to put me on trial for slavery and say I owe anyone an outcome. Otherwise, I'm being denied my due process, which, of course, Democrats don't give a damn about due process. That just gets in the way of them fixing all the ills of the world and history past.
Well, that's all I got for this one. Anything else? Nope. Any other rant of yours?
No, I'm in a ranting mood, though, tonight. So.
All right. Okay. Well, that's it. Thanks, everyone, for tuning in. Thanks, everyone, for your support. We'll catch you in the next segment of ours. As always, be safe, watch your six, and don't tread on me.